Welcome. This is the final part of our 3-part quick set. What I need to know about AI in a job interview. Across this whole series, you will be learning all about how AI is changing the recruitment and interview process. And we will be giving you some top tips on how to best prepare for these changes. In this quick set, we have a very special guest speaker joining us to talk about AI in the recruitment process, how to best prepare for it, and how AI shapes everyday working life.
Pleasure to be here today. My name is Simon Greenman. I run a business called Best Practice AI, which is a consultancy helping organizations figure out how to use AI. And I've been involved in AI throughout my whole career, about 30 years now. So I've seen all the sort of the hype and the disappointment and the latest versions of AI. But I love technology and I love AI. AI, you've got to understand, a lot of people think it's like human, it's sentient, it's conscious. It's not. AI is a technology, it's a tool. And like any sort of tool, we can either use it for good or bad. And it's really the question of how we use it and who's using it. So I actually think it's a friend in a lot of cases, but the latest sort of AI technology like generative AI, the ChatGPT and things, it's being amazing how people are using it in the workplace because they actually like it. You know, it's very hard for a lot of people to be a creator, but it's easy to be a critic. So what people are doing is they're using ChatGPT and other things to write the first draft of their email or write a marketing brochure or write some computer code. And so what happening is we're using it like a co-pilot, that we work and co-create together with this technology. It creates the first draft, we edit it, it iterates it, we edit it. So there's a lot of great uses of it. But you know, the bad of like any sort of technology tool is it can be used by bad actors to do things like deep fakes of pictures, deep fakes of videos and stuff like that. And that makes us worried because we're not sure when we see things on the screen or Instagram or in videos whether or not it's real or not. But overall, I think it's good. Another example is how it's being used in recruitment. And one of the things about when you're applying for jobs is you're often at the mercy of humans, and the reality of humans is they're often inconsistent in their behavior. If they have a big lunch, they're tired after lunch, they're a bit grumpy. They might not be as fair when they review your CV or job application, or they might have had a bad sleep, so they're not very fair in the morning and they toss your CV out, that sort of thing. So what technology can actually do is make a lot of processes more consistent and more fair so that everybody's evaluated fairly on the same criteria. So that's a good use in the workplace that we're seeing, is make recruitment more consistent and more fair. AI is what we call a sort of enabling technology. It would be used everywhere in the workplace. And it will only be an increasing part of the workplace. So I think it's really important that for anybody entering the workplace or thinking about entering the workplace, they're at least comfortable with these tools because they're going to be part of the future. So they might play around with ChatGPT, use it to write emails, or use it to write their CVs and job applications, being familiar with it. And also other tools like DALL-E for creating images. What we're going to see is a lot of marketing brochures and presentations, or the graphics will be created through these generative AI tools. So it's really important that everyone applying for jobs is familiar with these tools, comfortable with it, because it's going to be part of the workplace now and into the future. And then in terms of sort of preparing for the job interviews, AI is something that's going to be used in human resources, and it is being used by companies, increasingly used by companies. So for example, even the job ads are being written by AI these days, the job descriptions saying we want this skill, that sort of thing. So you're seeing it there. But what's happening is it's so easy to get alerts for new jobs that thousands of people are often applying. So what happens was all the applications, in a lot of cases, the screening and the selection of candidates and looking through the CVs is actually happening through AI. So it's really important when people make the applications that they're reflect in their applications if there's a letter to write in CV that they're putting in all the keywords. So if it's a job for IT and Java programming, make sure that there's reference to IT and Java programming and that will ensure that your CV gets through the screening and selection process. And then what's actually happening is when it comes to interviewing candidates, increasingly what we're going to see is there will be video interviews for people. And they'll be asked standard questions that are important. They'll be asked hard and soft questions. And then they'll be given assessments like game assessments and things like that. And that will be looking to measure things like your capabilities for communication skills, for problem solving, for teamwork and dependability. So the reality is when we have these video interviews is we've just got to be comfortable using technologies, be comfortable using these assessments and the like, because they will be part of the process going forward. So in short, get comfortable with these tools and get comfortable that they're going to be used to measure and assess you during the interview process. But like anything, we need to make sure that we put the appropriate guardrails in place so that it is fair, it's used safely, that it's private and things like that. And some of the work I do, we're working with governments to make sure that we can roll out AI for good around the world, but also put in place the appropriate guardrails so that it's not misused by bad actors. So I'm excited for the future of AI. There's always a worry that AI is going to take away our jobs. But what happens is AI is on a sort of continuum of automation and technology. I mean, you go back 200 years ago and they started automating the factories and things like that. And there's always change and there's always automation. But what it really means for everybody is that the skills that become important are things like adaptability and agility. Things will always change and they change quickly. So being able to be flexible, a willingness to learn because there's always going to be new tools and technology. But then other skills, softer skills become very important. So being able to communicate well, being able to argue your position well, having the confidence to argue well is going to be important. And then getting on with colleagues well and alike. And then critical reasoning things. So I would say, there's a balance of hard skills, learning technology, learning to be a lawyer, but then soft skills will become even more important. Relationship skills will become extremely important. So getting that balance is really right at the start of people's careers.
We have almost come to the end of our Quick Set series. Our guest speaker just gave us some incredible insights into how to best prepare for AI in the recruitment process and how AI will impact our work in the future. This has been a lot of information, but I bet you have taken something useful from this 3-part Quick Set series. Don't forget, we have amazing mentoring opportunities for you delivered by people working in many different industries that AI is also being used in. Those include the Premier League, advertising agencies, and the music industry. You can sign up for those on our Apprentice Nation website. Before we wrap up, AI chatbot, do you want to say goodbye yourself?
Hey, awesome crew. Keep exploring, stay curious, and remember, your potential is limitless.